Okay, so now let's move forward and do the specific paragraphs now. All right, these are paragraphs 3 and 4, right? We've done our introduction for this line graph. We've done our general overview for this line graph. And now we need to do our third and fourth paragraphs. When you do your third and fourth paragraphs, here is where we compare the numbers. This is where we get into doing our specific comparisons of the numbers. Okay, as you can see, our introduction, what is it about, general overview, what are the high and low points we're talking about, and then for our third and fourth paragraphs, then we can be able, for our third and fourth paragraphs, then we can be able to look at the specific numbers that we have to look at. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at how to do that. What I'm saying is we have to when we're doing looking at the specifics, we have to break this line graph into two parts. Okay, so first we're looking at the way I like to do it when I'm breaking it into two parts. The way I like to do it is I like to look at the years at the bottom. At the bottom we have 1970 to 2030. Okay, we have it right there at the bottom, 1970 to 2030. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it into two different parts. All right, so what that means is that first I'm going to look at, I'm going to have my paragraph 3 to go from to look at what happened from 1970 to the year 2000. Okay, so for my paragraph 3, right, I'm breaking it apart and I'm looking at 1970 to the year 2000. And I'm going to make comparisons of the numbers for between that time period. Then I'm going to look at the year 2000 to the year 2030 for my paragraph 4. Right, for my paragraph 4, I'm going to be looking at 2000 to 2030. Okay, so there we have it. We have it broken up into different parts. This is my part 1. Okay, and this is my part 2. So I've broken the line graph into two parts. Now that I've broken this line graph into two parts, now I can get into making comparisons of the numbers. Right? I can make comparisons of the numbers. And so first I'm going to start out, I'm going to take my first comparisons by looking at 1970 to 2000. Now, keep in mind, you're not going to be able to compare everything. You're not going to be able to compare every single possible number, every single possible comparison. That's not what they're asking you to do. That's not what they are asking you to do. They're not asking you to be able to do more than that. Okay? So just look at some interesting comparisons and make them, and then we can go ahead and move forward. So first I'm going to look at it in terms of I'm going to look at first from 1970 to 1990. I'm going to look at that 20-year period of 1970 to 1990. And so when we look at the car line, which is the blue line, we can see that we have to make estimates here, right? We can see that the car is at about 5 million in 1970, and then it has a gradual increase to 1980. And then a sharper increase up to 1990, where it ends up at 6 million. So between the years of 1970 and 1990, the car rises from 5 million to 6 million. Okay, and and in a similar fashion, and then we can say also for the bus, which is the green line, the bus makes a gradual decline from around 4 million down to around just under 4 million in 1990. Right, so we're getting into our comparisons of our numbers now. So it might look something like this. Beginning with 1970 to 1990. Beginning with 1970 to 1990. Here we're doing good on our time. We can see how car usage rose by around 1 million. $5 million to 6 million. And the bus, okay, the bus fell to slightly under 4 million. And finally, the train, right, the train is the orange line. The train made a slight increase from about, well, I would say about 2 million to about 2.5 million. We're making estimates, right? That's what a sentence would look like for 1970 to 1990. Beginning with 1970 to 1990, we can see how car usage rose by around 1 million, 5 to 6 million. The bus fell slightly under 4 million, and finally the train made an estimated jump from 2 to 2.5 million. Right? We are looking at the numbers and we are making some comparisons. And now we're going to look at our next time period. Next time period. Now, when it comes to 1990 to 2000, right? 1990 to 2000, right? We look at the car. We look at the car from 1990 to 2000. And our car goes from 6 to, I would say, around 7 million. So by the time we reach 2000, 7 million people are using the bus. And then by the time we get to 2000, about just under 4 million are using the bus. And 3 million are using the train. So this is how you can compare some numbers here, right? We can say that for this time period, about 4 million more people are using the car than the train, right? Paragraph done. Right now, for that next time period of 1990 to 2000, I didn't talk about the bus, but I could have. I mean, it's not doing anything interesting. You know, the bus from 1990 to 2000, you know, we could say, if we wanted to, we can say a minimal decline from 1990 to 2000. Right? And that would be a paragraph for part number 1. Right? With 1970 and 2000, part number 1, we could see a drop. We see a drop from 1970 to 1990. Okay, we see a drop from 1970 to 1990. And so this is what a specific paragraph will look like. And then for paragraph 2, for the years 2000 and 2030, we would do the exact same thing, write the exact same paragraph. Now, what I want you to do is I'm not going to write the paragraph number 3 and 4. This is our paragraph number 3, and this is our paragraph number 4, our specific paragraphs. What I want you to do is I want you to take a look at this line graph, and I want you to try to write. I want you to try to write an example of the paragraph number 4, right, for the specifics. Right, I want you to take a look at this line graph here, and I want you to write an example. Write your own example of the paragraph number 4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to include it. I'm going to include it in a number of student examples that were done very well of doing the paragraph number 4 for this example. Because for the paragraph number 4, we will repeat the exact same process as we did for paragraph number 3, except we're going to do it for 2000 to 2030. All right, we have a paragraph number 4. All right, so that's what I want you to do. I want you to write an example of paragraph number 4 on your own, send it to me, and I'm going to include it on our list of examples for paragraph 4 from students that also has commentary. That also has commentary for paragraphs number 4 that are done correctly. All right, so give it a shot, give it a try, and we're going to look at it and examine it when you do it for your course. Okay, so I will talk to you soon, and I look forward to our working together and in furthering this course. Talk to you soon.